All right. I think we are live. I think we are here. Um,
I can check on my phone real quick. Let me see.
I'm ready to
Ooh.
go.
It's happening. I see it.
It's live. We did it. Okay. Welcome everybody. This is our first actual attempt at going live. Successful attempt, I might say. This is Love is Nearsighted, a Love is Blind recap show. Today, we're going to recap the three most recent episodes that just dropped Friday of Love is Blind, everybody's favorite guilty pleasure. My name is Ashley. I am a part of Native Collective. You can find me at Ashley Harris ESQ talking about business and the law. Um, to the left of me is my wonderful friends and teammates who are going to join me today. Please introduce yourselves. Go ahead, E.
All right, fine. Hey, everybody. It's your favorite hostess of your favorite podcast under the Native Collective umbrella, INGNLA. It is my pleasure to be here bringing you all of this drama and nonsense from the last three episodes of Love is Blind. This is my first trip down a full season of these shenanigans. And yeah, it's been a joy and a pleasure to be here.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Nelly from Detroit from the D. You can follow me at NellyNell2503. I guess I'm the vet maybe of Love and Blind. I've been here since first season, so I am here to give all of the feels, all of the opinions, and all of the drama.
Absolutely. And we cannot wait to hear what both of you think about these most recent episodes. I personally feel like um, they're getting a little better, a little more interesting. So let's start. Let's start where we left off on the last show, and that was with Daniel and don't tell me. Um, that was with Daniel and Taylor.
Yes.
A girl Tay Tay.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it. So when we left off last time, they left us on some cliffhanger where Taylor was confronting Daniel because she was just convinced that he knew what she looked like because she had followed him and unfollowed him previously. So here we pick up this episode and Taylor's theory is unraveling.
She definitely spiraled. I mean, once they gave her the phone so she can fact check, her face just went from like I feel so stupid. But
Yeah.
she was so confident though. Remember she kept saying like 90% confidence? But in
Hmm.
my mind, I'm like, why are you creating all this drama when it didn't matter in the first place? Like who
Right.
cares
Like,
if he
so
followed
what?
you?
Like, if he did follow you, it's not like he's actively like liking your pictures. You don't know, like, you're making it seem like he's taking screenshots and made like a whole folder dedicated to you and your family traditions and she like studied up on you before coming to the show. Like, girl, please don't think so highly of
Yeah.
yourself.
She made it seem like he was a stalker and that she was that girl that would be stalked. Like, let's be real.
Hello? Like, what? It's not giving high stockability, sis.
No,
Come
I'm
on.
sorry, Taylor. We don't know who you are. The
Mm-mm.
Minnesotans don't know who you are. I'm
Yeah, I'm all the way
sorry.
over here in LA. I definitely don't know you, girl. Sorry.
Okay.
Like, you think you're the only person in the world like who makes Christmas stockings with their family for the holidays?
Right.
Girl,
You
bye.
think you're the only one who likes Taco Bell?
Hello? Like, girl, I just had those little pull apart dip burritos like at 2 o'clock in the morning the other day. Shout out to y'all. Like, you ain't paying me, but you know what? I didn't die. They weren't terrible. So thank you, TV. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Like,
and I don't know. Do you think that's gonna play out the rest of the season with her feeling like the guilt just settling in like that? Because I really felt like when they met each other's family, their families seemed very genuine and loving and
mhm.
supportive. And so I could just see her continuing to unravel because the guilt just weighs so heavy on her shoulders.
I hope she's over
Yeah.
it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, I just keep wondering, is it gonna resurface again in some kind of way? It feels like it has to, right? I
Yeah.
don't know, just because it's TV.
Hmm.
But like, I'm sorry, I just have to say this. Like, I just don't understand. Like, we are talking about like getting to know people, getting these committed relationships, and it's like these people get focused on the smallest things. I'm like, if he did follow you, like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I guess you're looking at like you're deceitful and you didn't follow the process, but it's just like if if that was my thought, I would have made sure that I know this to be true, because
Oh
otherwise I'm
yeah.
gonna look.
Because they'll look at
I
you.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
she
like,
went back to her hotel room and twiddled her thumbs and then came back like, "Yep, I'm 90% sure. I'm
how is that
convinced."
even possible? She said she has the
But she didn't
follower
have her
app.
phone, so she didn't have a way to actually fact check
But she
before
Right.
she
said
Until
brought it
she
up.
has
production stepped in and was like, hey, here you go, girl. Here you go. But also,
but
I would like to point out, I don't know if anybody else caught this little detail, but like when she was sitting there all despondent, like scrolling through her followers, I'm like, none of those profiles that you're scrolling through even have pictures, sis. Like, come on. You
yeah,
really want us to believe that out of all those thousands of ghost profiles you let follow you, you were able to just pinpoint on the girl, because then that means you followed him or you looked at his page. So
Right.
what are we
right.
doing?
That's so
What are we
true. But
really
my
doing,
thing is,
Taylor?
but she said she has the followers app. So it's like, how did you see the app to
Girl, who
realize that
are
he
you?
followed you and unfollowed you? Or was she saying she
She
did this
didn't.
before the show and you just have this kind of photographic memory to like,
That's what I'm talking about. Like she sat in her hotel room and stared at the ceiling and was like, "Yep,
Hmm.
Daniel, I remember him. I remember him in front of that fireplace or
But that
whatever."
means you saw him too. So why are we making a big deal? Pot kettle. What are we doing? What do you want to do,
right,
Taylor?
right. Yeah, I just thought that was crazy because even at my level, my little amount of followers, there's no chance I will
No
remember
chance.
I have
unless
700 followers, and I listen.
unless somebody followed me and I was like, "Oh my God, is this my husband? He's the most perfect man I've ever seen." Like, that's the
Okay.
only
That's the only way. And even then, I'd be like, oh shit, what was your profile? What was your page? I forgot. I forgot.
right.
I mean, the
Fact.
only okay, this is a big stretch. The only thing I can think of is if she remembered because it was so heavy on the Christmas theme. That is the only thing, maybe, and that's a
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah. And she tried to make that connection, like, "Oh,
Yeah,
we're both such
Dislocated
Christmas
her shoulder
people."
for that reach.
she just needed a little more TV time. You know,
Yeah,
that's what that boils
Not
down
like
to.
this.
it's true. It's true. So then, okay, if we move out of that mode, as they somehow did, and wait, did he go too light on her? Um, in response to
No,
her? Okay.
no, he didn't. Because at some point he low key switched it up to I absolutely was not following you to I may have been following you, but I unfollowed you, or I don't know if I followed you, and if I did, I'm so, like it was the switch up was no. I think that the crime fit the punishment perfectly. Y'all can both sit there in your denial and your guilt, and then just go ahead and ride off into the sunset
Well,
together.
I think it was. I think she just planted that seed of doubt. Honestly, I just think like she just had to put that little like, "Are you sure?" And then he had to think about it. Like, I mean, I thought I was sure, but I guess there's a possibility now that maybe who knows.
Yeah.
Kind of like. I mean, if this may be a good segue, kind of like the whole Ben and Sarah situation.
Mm, ugh, ugh. Ben lives matter. Mm.
Oh, Benny.
Benjamin.
he
Um,
was he was all, "I don't remember anything about this girl who made this TikTok."
Oh my Jesus. Whew. Y'all gotta stop embarrassing
Supposedly
yourself.
years ago, 4 years ago, I think he said.
yeah. Okay, so let's jump into Ben and Sarah.
I'm gonna lightly step into it. Y'all can jump in. I'm gonna dip a toe.
Yeah, did anyone see the TikTok? I didn't have a chance to look it up.
No,
I
I
didn't
haven't seen it. But I
actually
think
see it. No.
Nelly, have you seen it?
No, I just saw. I didn't actually watch the whole thing. I just saw, um, like the first
Okay, let
couple
me see if I can
seconds.
find it now.
You
Because
saw
I'm
the
kind of like,
TikTok?
I'm gonna look at it right now in real time. We're all gonna see it together.
Like I just saw like the first couple seconds. I know what the girl looks like. Yeah,
Can you
I
share
forget
the
her.
link
I forget her name though.
so we could play it live?
Yeah, let me find it and I can send it to you. Let's see.
While you're looking for that,
Yes, I was gonna say, let's go ahead and.
so I had a question. I feel like now every season there's always gonna be this like somebody dated somebody and they were this horrible person just to get a little bit of clout or whatever, or start their own little podcast, whatever the case. It's starting to feel like that. Um, kind of like what we saw last season, um, with Ashley and Tyler or whatnot, right? Like the baby mama started coming on. I should get all these interviews and like I don't know. I don't. I guess it's expected to happen, but now it feels like it's becoming a normal thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's inevitable. Like, I was thinking, like, shoot, let one of my exes get on here. And I'm like, listen, okay, I have a memory. I can remember all the things you did to me 10
Girl,
years
I'm waiting
ago.
for somebody to pull up some type of receipt because right now it's all hearsay. I need receipts.
It doesn't matter. Hearsay still hits. Hearsay still lands. There's somebody. It could be a job. It could be anybody who will look at that, and that hearsay will land on them. You never know. But I'm thinking, somebody in my past. This is an opportunity that just serves itself up on a platter for me. Like,
Yeah,
and I'm not even a crazy liar drama person, but like that could be tempting, right? Especially depending on how hurt
very.
you were.
Mm-hmm.
Especially depending on how. So I think that's the thing. With that, it seems like it's pretty inevitable. And then with the thing, of clout, if people are trying to get famous, there's that too.
That, and also I don't like it to be okay. It's just all these women scorn coming up and saying something that's a bad look on just women in general. That's it's not cool. Like we need to also consider the narrative. Like this is a douchebag, and maybe he did do that.
Yeah, that's true.
And people are allowed to speak up.
That's very
Absolutely.
true. But with Lauren and David, we're gonna get to next. That's a man,
Yeah,
coming out and rearing his head too. So yeah,
Right,
we
but you
ain't
see
doing no
how
woman
quick Dave is
scorn.
to believe the man. So,
yeah, so quick. Okay,
but
wait, we'll get to
we'll
that.
come back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we come back for you, Dave.
There's
Um, I,
actually a lot to talk about today. So did you find the link, E?
I believe this is it. So I sent the link to your DM. I
Yeah,
can
that's
email
her.
it to
That's her.
you. But yeah, or I can just play it right here on phone.
Can you put it in the chat?
Let me see,
Or what DM did you send it to?
to the group DM. But let me
Oh,
copy
okay.
link.
Oh, I gotcha. I got it.
Okay, so I was like, listen. Listen, okay. It's not funny, but it's funny because I really, really, really wish y'all would find shame this year. In 2025, we have to bring back shame. Y'all just exposing yourselves and embarrassing yourselves and I'm not trying to like be dismissive because maybe she was really scorned by this gentleman. Maybe not, I don't know. But she herself in the video, as you'll see, vast overreaction. Stop crying on the internet, please. Stop.
Mm.
Just stop, please.
And that's what would stop me, like pride and feeling like I'm over this guy. Who cares, But people are different. So let's hear from this young lady. Can you see?
We could see.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a little low though.
I did put it in the chat though, just for whatever purposes.
Oh, we can't hear her. Can you guys hear her?
Mm-mm. Thank God for captions.
Can you hear it, Ashley?
Yeah.
We can't hear it. Me either.
Mm-mm.
So maybe a setting on your share, like Yeah, via the platform.
Oh, okay. I know what you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like while we're figuring this out, like I
You still
understand
can't
shitty
do it?
things happen,
I
but
still can't hear it, but I'm not gonna press it.
we get like
Then we
shitty things
won't.
happen, but is this the correct way to deal with it?
Well, we
Like,
can't. So let's just say what the girl was saying in the video. So basically, she's saying that she just saw the list of cast members on Love Is Blind be revealed, and I don't really know what else she says. She starts crying.
Yeah, so her video supposedly that was aired a year ago, like when she saw the cast. So she didn't know, like she has no idea if, Ben actually found love or whatever, right? She doesn't know with whom. Like she just saw
okay.
him is giving her reaction.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
She said that
So
when she realized they were filming there, she got this feeling in her stomach that something was going to happen. She wasn't going to like what she saw. Lo and behold, she went through the cast list and found Ben and was like, "Oh shit."
and
She
so
didn't.
is that? Are we sure that's the video that Sarah saw that sent
This
her?
is the
I,
most popular one that everyone on TikTok seems to
I don't
be
know if that's the
responding
I don't know if
to.
that's the one. That might be another video that she I, I want to say maybe the one with crying, the original one. I want to say maybe that's not available anymore or something.
Okay, yeah, because maybe if that was a precursor or something, that's fine. I know she did say she's crying, and she's crying in that one. But it's just like if okay, I'm getting ready to marry a man, and there's a woman who comes out, puts a video on TikTok of her crying because she sees that he's on a reality show. I'm trying to see how that's something I get mad at him for. I'm not I can't get from A to B.
Exactly.
Am I crazy?
And no, you're not. And especially if he is saying this was years ago,
Right.
that's really throwing me a wrench
Hmm.
because what are we talking about right now?
Like if it
That's the
happened
thing.
years ago and then this video is at least a year old, it's either A, what did you do to this woman? Or B, why have you not filed a restraining order against this woman? Like,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
says in the episode, Sarah says, there's a video of this girl crying on TikTok. So I assume that this is
The
absolutely the
video.
video of this
Yeah.
girl, Andra, crying
Yeah.
her poor heart out. But also, why are you so vague about it? Tell us what he
Very
did,
well.
girl.
Right. That's the
Why he
thing.
got you crying on the internet years later? What's going on?
Yeah. And if so, if it's just something that's like, oh my gosh, I love this man, or he hurt me so bad and she just wanted to share it, that's fine. But it's like, I don't get how that reflects on him. Unless it was like, again, Lauren and David, okay, this woman is crying, and you dated her a day before or a week before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that, but it's like, I don't get it. Years before, I don't get it.
Yeah, we didn't
What?
even see that. What was the season? Not last season, maybe the season before with the Megan Fox girl.
Hmm.
The one wasn't she dating Jimmy? Wasn't that his name? Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy, good. That's good name.
Wait, and what was the other guy? Anyway, there was a I can't think of his name. There was another guy.
The
He
guy with the
was
long hair.
supposedly engaged and then
Yes,
came on the
yes,
show.
yes. I remember.
No one made a big thing about that.
No, no, and maybe because he was just a like
No
secondary
one cares.
character or something.
Maybe, yeah, maybe I don't know, but
NPC.
that didn't
Yeah,
even come out till like later.
yeah,
They were like, you were engaged?"
right.
Oh,
Like,
by the way, yeah, totally forgot to mention.
Like literally engaged like months before the show though. Not yeah. They called off the engagement months before the show.
right.
And so the question was, well, you had to apply way earlier. So like you were engaged when you applied.
Yeah,
That
right,
sounds like something that happened
Yeah.
on another show similar to this one. It was like, oh, you were somebody's whole fiance 6 months ago. Like,
yeah. Or like Chris. What show was Chris on? He that's
was
the
that
show.
Married at First Sight?
I think it was
I
Married
think
at
we're
First.
talking about the same one.
That's the show I got you hooked on Married at First Sight with Chris and Paige.
Oh, oh, that,
He
people.
had a baby and bought a girl a BMW and all.
Yes!
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's the one I
Oh,
always think of. Like,
days.
if he's doing that kind of stuff before the show,
Yeah, that
we're
poor girl.
all
And then he told her after they had sex. I was like, yo, what?
right.
Yes. Right.
That's
Yeah.
the kind
Yeah.
of situation that we're gonna all ride for you, girl. Like we're all gonna be out here like that is shady.
If I see him out to this day,
Right. Right. Exactly. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about Sarah. I mean, maybe it's just a very intense situation and like, again, the show and you're in a pod and then you're out in the real world and so now all of a sudden everything is really heightened for you and you don't know what to make of stuff and you're with a
Hmm.
stranger. Let's not forget that because and also like let's be honest as women and I know women do it too but we're just women so we're going to talk about women and men. But as women, most of us have been with men who have done some shady
some
stuff,
man shit.
trying to shuffle around women and, doing things that are just not appropriate, right? So I get how you could just come be skeptical.
For sure. I think that's just a natural phase in any kind of partnership. I think it would be foolish to not have some questions or raise an eyebrow every now and then. But like I think that the show, I feel like the show for sure has some bearing on how much shit is blown out of proportion. Because you think about like the couples in real life and like the shit that they're going through. Because every couple goes through something.
Hmm.
Like I'm not busting out my iPhone, and recording, Christina and Frank arguing over what to go have for dinner. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh my god, you guys, listen, these motherfuckers over here getting into it. Like I'm not gonna add that extra element of everyday shenanigans. Just to, I don't know what her end game is, and I think a lot of people kind of go into this type of shit not really knowing what they want as a result from their behavior.
That's a
So
good
I
point.
don't I don't know.
That's that's a good
Yeah.
point.
I give Sarah her props. She's giving him a lot of grace right now. So we'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
She's being very understanding, unlike Dave.
Okay, so
Oof. Ugh. Ugh.
let's jump into Lauren and Dave. Shall we call this the main event?
Where
Okay.
Yes.
So
do we
let's
start with this
start.
one?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta just kick this off by saying that because I remember every season on Love Is Blind, I tell somebody that I do not trust X. Okay, Dave was the X for me
Oh,
this
for
season.
sure.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. He
Where are you
was.
at with things, Kelly?
I mean, okay. There's a couple things. One, he's definitely blowing it out of proportion. Even if she did have a relationship with him, like it's over. But two, he's giving so much light to what his friends are telling him about this man. And I don't understand that. Like, I get it. You don't know her, so the trust isn't always there, and you have your loyalty is to your friends. But how close are your friends with this guy? I mean, just because they go on a ski trip doesn't mean they're homies for life.
Y'all probably weren't homies on that trip. Like if
Right?
we're being
Okay,
honest.
that's what I'm saying. And if because if his close friends were close with this guy, then Dave would have been closer with him because they would have been around each other more. And per Dave, he was saying like, I know of this guy, but I don't really know him like that. I not enough to know of his character or anything like that. So
Right.
I just don't understand why he's giving it. He's just letting it fester and grow. I instead of nipping it in the bud
Right.
and having Lauren's back, I don't know if he's just looking for an out. I don't know. He also said like his sister is asking about it. I don't know if it's the pressure of like people keep asking him questions, and so it's just giving him even more doubt. I like I don't know what it is.
My theory is that he has trust issues because of the industry that he's in or the kinds of people that he's been around, the fake and the superficial and like the plastic. Um, and so I think that he has trouble trusting even himself at this point. And then one of Lauren's friends really asked kind of like a good question. He kind of glanced over it a little bit, but he was like, "Are those really your friends?
Yeah.
Like, are these really your boys? Are these your ride or dies? Because it sounds like they have too much time on their hands. It sounds like they need to go outside and touch some grass. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we went on a ski trip with him. Like this bro math ain't mathing like at all. Oh, we went on a ski trip. I've been on so many girls' trips to so many group dinners, and I wouldn't be able to pick more than half of you up out of a lineup if we're being honest. Like we probably had a great time together, but just because we are on a ski trip, that does not mean that we're like this now. So
Right.
what? I dated, I chatted with, somebody had my number. Like who cares? I communicated with another man before you. Am I supposed to be pure and untouched? Like
So,
you
and by
didn't
the
choose
way,
the one that was that way.
yeah, by the way,
So
this is coming from a guy who says he lacks integrity. Like, get real.
All
Get
right. And
real.
this my part is like, Dave, we didn't forget that. We didn't
Okay.
forget everything you said in the pod.
Okay.
We remember.
We still
we
question
were
it. Dave, you are still on the stand.
we
Right.
You haven't you
continue.
haven't been
Wait. We have the best receipts of all time. We have Netflix receipts. Okay. We have run
From
it
the
back
horse's mouth.
episode 1 through 3 receipts. So it's like, yeah, that is like obvious. It's like he said he is so picky with women and he only dates certain type of women. He has no integrity, his character, all these things. And then fast forward to now, it's like this woman who, I'm sorry, it could be editing, but she seems like a very nice woman, very well put together. She seems here for the process. And now you won't get over the fact that she what was with another man, like
You're a human
everybody
being.
everybody in the world was with a different man before you. Like we are
How
not.
many women was he with in the pods though? Dave potted everybody practically. So what are
Thank
we talking about?
you. My thing is like if okay, so we have to think about the process. It's like, is his thing that you knew you were going to be on the show? You know, because I know like on Married at First Sight, they've had this issue before where it's like, okay, did you go out to a bar and talk to somebody, hook up with somebody after you know that they found a wife for you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a little bit different, right? But I don't know that he knows that or that he can prove that up. And I think the main thing too is that the dude is saying it was 24 hours before, but your fiance is telling you it's not. So like
right.
Aaron said, you're going with the dude who you like met at a bar one night as opposed to the woman you spent all this time supposedly meaningful time with in the
Mm-hmm.
pod.
Yeah, and
Who
poor
you're
Lauren.
engaged to?
Yeah, and Lauren can't even prove she really can't prove that she wasn't with him because it's not like she
Like I don't
was.
have those messages.
Yeah, she don't
Like
have
I
a
don't.
receipt because she wasn't with
It
them.
didn't happen.
It
Right.
didn't
Exactly. And
happen.
There's no
So
way to
it's not just your
unprove.
fiance telling you; it's her two best friends. Like, no, she wasn't with him. She was with us. And I
Right.
mean, saying it out loud now, it's like that sounds like some guys. There's some shit that guys would say. But honestly, the way that they were on Dave's head, I listen. I'm gonna believe the women, not just as a woman, but as a person with a lot of common sense and can see
Yeah.
shit for what it
yeah.
actually is. Yeah, absolutely. I think, like Nelly said, he may be using this or trying to use this as an out because there's something there that's not there. There's
Absolutely.
something that's not for me, for them.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking that the whole time. I'm just waiting on him to drop that ball. When they had a conversation in the kitchen, and I swear he said, I don't want to walk away. But then I said,
Mm.
swear he said, I want to walk away. I don't know what else to do. So I'm
Yes,
like, bro, you are literally like all over the place.
all
Like,
over the place.
sir.
He's like stringing that girl along, but then
Mhm.
like breaking her heart at the same time.
And then he mentioned like, "Oh, I'm going to talk to Molly." Like,
Right.
excuse me. Pardon?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'm
still,
gonna talk to my ex when we get back from this romantic trip to Honduras. It's gonna happen. Like,
yeah. Like,
are you all right?
what? So let's talk about this other man.
Oh no.
Nelly Nelly has the tea. So what happened is I found his Instagram
Oh
because
Oh,
no. Oh no.
and he on the Instagram there is a picture where he created his own Love is Blind like a profile picture.
yeah.
Oh, like
And
the little
Yes.
yeah,
section, girl.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
No, you
And
fucking
but look,
lying.
I went on this morning and I saw his page and I wish, but now he put it private.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but
Okay.
but there is an IG that has the receipts. So let me see if I
Folks
can
must be
find it.
roasting him right now. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'm sure he got flooded
Do we
with
know
all
for
that
sure
stuff.
that he wasn't at all a part of like the audition or picking
Yeah, no,
process?
he wasn't. Yeah, he
Okay.
wasn't.
He just got on Canva and was like,
Yep, he sure did. He went on Photoshop like doo doo doo.
So it's the
At his big
reality.
age too. At his big age.
It's the reality Ashley. So we're gonna show this
okay, please. I
from
can't
the
wait.
reality Ashley Instagram account. Shout out to them because they have the receipt. Um, can't escape
Oh,
this now. So his
drama.
name is
Ah!
Dan. Dan, my man, Dan, age 32. He's a lawyer. His Instagram handle is Jim Tan Lawyer or something like that. But it's private now. So, but this is where he
Oh,
posted
like
that.
GTL. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So clever.
And so,
That's so
and
funny.
so
He
this
just
is
looked
him.
goofy.
So this is the guy that Dave
This
is
is the
tripping over.
guy that Dave believes. Okay.
This
This
is the
is the
guy.
guy that Dave is ride or dying for.
Every day y'all stray. I
Man.
swear.
Even
This
What?
is the
though,
guy that Dave is giving his left arm for. He's putting his life
Mm-mm.
in his hand and
I need to come with
Dan's
receipts.
hands.
Dan, I need you to come and defend yourself. Speak up. Fight back. Fight back,
so
Drake.
here's the thing. I did some digging and there's some more tea. And Nelly, you can let me know if you have any. But basically, basically, he supposedly was approached by Netflix, the production company, to come on the show, and supposedly he turned it down. So there was this theory that like I think it was Lauren's friends who said that he wanted to just be famous or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why he's bending the truth according to them. But if he turned on the interview, that's curious, right? If he just wants to be
Mm-hmm. For
famous.
sure.
But then it does, like this article says, that he plans to tell his story. So I don't know.
I'm sure
Oh
he
my
is.
God. What in the Oprah's Book of the Month Club is going
I think I
on?
saw, was it in the same, I can't remember if it was in the same comments because I just been seeing so much stuff, but I think another girl stepped forward and said that Dan guy was talking to her.
No, my God.
Was
Like
it the girlfriend?
after Lauren. Yeah, after
Okay,
Lauren.
so it wasn't the girlfriend of 7 months because I mean 7 years because his friend.
No, this was no, this is someone else who was like, yeah, I met him on a dating app and yeah, this guy's like a douche and like he's lying about stuff. I saw it somewhere. I don't know if it was in the comments of that same post or if it was like I gotta find it and send it to you guys. But yeah. So basically she was just like, yeah, no, this guy is exaggerating and just wants some clout.
Are
Hmm.
we like? Are we looking at this as like, is this behavior protective, or are people just really bitter about whatever's going on in their lives?
No,
Because it's
I just
like
think
Well,
this
people
kind of
are
stuff happens every
opportunists.
day in every way. Yeah,
Yeah, I just think people
it's
are
sad.
opportunists.
my thing
So it's
is,
yeah, it's just so gross. I'm gonna
my
sit
thing
here
is,
and sabotage somebody else's potential happiness because of some shit that happened like 4 years ago that I can't seem to get over. Go to therapy. It's so much cheaper than what it's costing you to cry on the internet and make up these nonsensical things and like tell your story. Like no one cares. Just
so
take
for
your shit off
Dan,
private and let us know
I
what
mean,
happened.
so for Dan, I think that like Lauren is definitely saying that they were just friends with benefits, right?
Mhm.
So my
Mm.
thing is, if we believe that to be true, and I do, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And I'm not even the woman's fiance. Um, but if we believe that to be friends with benefits, then it's like, even if it was like the day before she went on the show, why does it matter? I'm just struggling with that. I mean, like I said, again, unless it was like Chris, where it's like he was with this woman and in love and, pregnancy scares and buying car,
But the
Mhm.
premise is different because you know specifically that you're going on the show to get married. With Love is Blind, it's like there's a potential that you don't, you
that's so
know?
true. And did she even right? That's so true. You're going might go on
Yeah.
the pod and not even find anybody.
Right.
That's so true.
So you want
That
me
is
to just
so
cut off
true.
all human contact for some potential? Like
Right.
knowing you
I
dating
think for
other women
him,
actively, like it doesn't make any sense
I think
at
for
all.
him, it's just all about perception, and he just doesn't want the perception that he's with like a girl who's looks like she's loose out there, not a wholesome woman or whatever you want to call it. I think it's just perception for him. I don't even think it's the actual act that she was doing it. It's like
Mm.
how are people going to judge me now? How are people going to judge this woman that I'm dating that could potentially be my wife?
That's ironic though, because it's like you said you have no integrity. You said you basically dated superficial individuals in the past, but now all of a sudden you're worried about how other people are going to view you because you're dating someone wholesome.
Well, I
Like,
think that's been the thing. I think that's why he brought it up, right? Like he tried to beat it to the punch, because like,
okay.
oh, I know it's gonna come out about me, so let me just go ahead and bring it up and talk about it.
I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
when people are so used to dealing with a certain type of person, the minute that you deal with somebody that like you need in your life, it might throw you for a loop and you might just default to those sabotaging behaviors and those personally destructive behaviors. So maybe he's just kind of freaking out a little bit because he's never been with someone like Lauren before. You know, they've never
No,
been with
I think
somebody like that person before.
he's giving me narcissist vibes. Like I think he yeah, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's like he can't control the situation and he doesn't want to look like naive. He doesn't want to look like he doesn't know what he's doing. And yeah, I just think it's like a narcissistic thing.
I
Spoiler
agree.
alert, sir. You
I
already look like an
I know
Yeah.
there's
What's
no
wrong with you,
payment.
Dave?
Yeah, I totally agree. He looks like he's just trying to find some way to, to escape this thing. How did you think her friends handled it? I was like, go friends. Me too. I'm like, okay, let me tell you something. This is exactly what you need from your friends when she's in a like emotional, like sensitive
Mhm.
state and just, obviously when you can't necessarily be at your maybe your best and representing the situation. Like her friends came through for her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was like, the one friend was like, I don't understand you, sir. Like, what else do you need? What
He
you want
was.
her to happen?
Yeah.
Like, because it doesn't make sense.
Not at all. It's
At all.
like
I
these
love
are the friends that Dave should have. If your friends aren't coming at you like this or supporting you in this way, then yeah, no, fuck your ski trips. You need a whole new set, bro. You need to just go ahead and cut them all off.
so
Free
true.
yourself.
It's so true. It's so true. Okay, so we may come back to this couple, but shall we transition now to topic I
Uh-oh.
want to get into Virginia and Mr. Devin.
Oh, Virginie.
Oh, Virginia. So I think with them things seem to be, you know, moving along, right? Nothing catastrophic has happened yet, okay? But there is a topic that has, continued to come up in just a span of a short few episodes. And that is, well, we can really broaden into just a financial discussion in general. Um so Devin, like I think proposed. Well, his questions are really like he wants to get to the nitty gritty and figure out how we gonna pay bills.
Right. He's like, well,
Right,
what kind of bank
because
account
on
we
that,
gonna
I
have? Are we
think,
gonna put this into a CD? Are we combining, like, what's happening?
well,
Right.
I
I
think he's
appreciate that.
more, yeah, I think he's concerned because on his, b-ball director salary, he don't have much to offer, right? So he asking them questions.
You better sell them sneakers then. What? You ain't got, okay, you know, sir. See, this is,
And
mm-mm.
what was
I
the
I
mean,
quote?
he's a
appreciate
youth
that little
coordinator. His
moment.
salary ain't that high.
Right.
And
And
what's
it's like, okay,
the
you sit there and you tell me that you got a $600-700 pair of sneakers on that salary. I appreciate Virginia's response. Like, absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not.
and
You-
and he's a 28-year-old director.
Yeah.
So it ain't like he been doing this for years and got
Right.
promotion after promotion.
Right.
But so he said, I think if I'm not mistaken, he said, are we gonna like one person pay the mortgage and one person pay the bills or split them?
Yeah,
Something.
50
Mhm.
50.
Yeah, 50-50. But with all the talk on the internet these days about man paying 100%, 50-50, whatever, I don't blame him for, throwing that out there, and seeing what sticks.
I appreciate them having the conversation because if I'm not mistaken, I feel like they're the only couple that has had that conversation so far.
Hmm.
Which is something like honestly in the pod, I don't think most people are thinking about if I do end up marrying this stranger, how are we going to manage our finances? Are you
Right.
comfortable joining your finances with a
Yeah.
stranger?
I mean, it's been talked about in other seasons, but not. It always seems like it's only one or two couples that talk about it. You don't see it, or they don't air it as far as like, is everyone having that conversation?
I think they talk
Yeah.
about it more on Married at First Sight because they have those coaches with them that I think push
Right.
Mm-hmm.
them to talk about the things they need to talk about. That's one of the strengths I think that Married at First Sight has over Love is Blind. But yeah, so they had that general conversation, and then I think it led to the conversation of like her saying she wants to be a millionaire. This is key. This is key information. And then him saying, well, listen, like he actually laid out a plan. He was like, I, see myself as the varsity coach. I'm assistant now, but I see myself getting to be varsity. And also, he said, like, I have ambition, like, do other things. And they talked about investing. And so I was like, okay, like you
Financial
guys are
literacy is and responsibility is such a turn on for me personally. Like, go okay, yes, lay out those goals. Like, show me a plan, put it in motion. Okay, I see you.
right,
Um,
especially
and
for somebody
yeah, I
who's
think that
28.
that's super solid of Devin for sure.
Especially if he's 28 and you're dating an older
Mm-hmm.
woman, like that is probably the older woman a few years, but
She's
that's
34.
probably
And I also didn't like how his sister tried to shade her, like, okay, well, you're older. What about kids? How soon are you?
Ooh,
I was like, she ain't that old.
girl, I
no.
was
I
like,
was like, don't you dare
listen,
just
just because
shade
her
her like
name
that.
comes from 1413 doesn't mean that that's when she was born. Like, come on, don't play her
Right.
out like that, sis. Don't
Like
do
she
her.
has many childbearing years left. Like
Yes.
Many,
that notion of
many.
like, oh my God, like she's crossed over in her 30s and
Yeah.
not dating tomorrow. Like,
She's crossed over the sands of time.
really? Like, that's kind of crazy.
I appreciate that
So
she was able to kind of be like, listen, I'm freezing my eggs. I've looked into this, I've looked into that, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
but
Shut that shit
that's like
down.
she literally just met them. That's very personal. That's her personal medical like decision. She's talking about her own body. Like she didn't have to. I think she felt kind of cornered, and she had to say that, which was kind of unfair. But yeah.
It was very
Anyway,
cutesy, very demure, very mindful response from
yeah.
Virginia. Kudos. But can we also, just since we on Virginia and I don't know if y'all peeped this, the way initially, like she kept playing with her hair, and it's like if Devin's here, she was just like, hmm, hmm. Like, why are you avoiding eye contact with this man? So like, what are you doing? And even the way like she touches him feels very like I'm touching his shoulder. My hand is on his
Yeah,
knee.
she does kind of give childlike. I don't know if it's because she really is like falling in love with him or liking him, and so she's getting, I guess, bashful shy or giving that. That's her way of flirting. I don't know, but
Seems a
yeah,
little stiff and robotic to me. Like, oh, hmm.
yeah, I know what you guys are saying. She definitely, yeah, her personality is definitely more low key. I mean, at a minimum, we can say that, you know. Okay, so then the big discussion came when Virginia mentioned a prenup, and
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaken, Devin's face was got a little oh, you know, um, although he ended up seeming open to it, but
Mhm.
Mhm. Well, at least while the
I
cameras
mean,
are rolling.
yeah.
But as a
Now,
lawyer, how do you feel about that?
okay, you guys want to hear my opinions first? Because
For real? Yeah.
I got a lot. First of all, let me tell you something, okay? You go on a show, okay, and you meet a man for a half a second, and you tell me I'm gonna get married. I don't know if Minneapolis is a community property state or not, but either way, entangling any kind of finances.
Mhm.
And you think it's even anywhere conceivable that any person with half an ounce of sense is not going to get a prenup? You know, okay, so my personal opinion, I think everyone should get a prenup, even if you've known the person forever.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
if you've known the person for 2 seconds, in what world do you not get a prenup? Like, I'm concerned for him and his family for not understanding this concept.
Yeah, and
Right.
his family like, I don't believe in that. You
Oh.
sound ignorant. I mean, that's what it really sounds like. I,
Mhm.
and then it's like it's not like you can amend things, you can change things through in time. You can. I don't understand what's the big deal, and I don't blame Virginia. I mean, clearly she has assets, and she's like, I'm not about to furnish your shoe fetish. And
Hello.
you about to leave me in a year, and we say yes at the Elsa.
So I just
Okay.
looked it up. It says no, Minnesota is not a community property state. They are an equitable division state, which means the marital property is divided fairly, but not necessarily equally.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's
So
yeah, I can understand why Virginia is Virginiaing right now for sure.
so that's a good point, E. So even in a separate property state, it's still like the government determines what happens with your money, as
Hmm.
opposed to just a prenup where you guys both can say, you know, no, this is what we agree is best for us in our marriage, and not
Right,
just the community or
right.
equitable
Yeah.
distribution of the state. So, but this is also very important, right? Okay, so looking back on the history of Love Is Blind, right? 9 couples. This is as of last year. I don't know if this is still accurate, and
Oh,
it's
come
not.
on with the stats.
It's not. You know, I tell you, when they said prenup, I got into it because this is my stuff.
Deep
This is my
dive.
lane. Okay, finances, what? Okay, so this is what I found, not through my own, but I just through research and articles and stuff. 9 couples are still married today. Both couples from season 2 are already divorced. Okay, so 9 couples from every other season are still married. Is that a good success rate? Maybe not the best.
No.
No, it's not.
No.
Great, not great. And then, like I think I mentioned last time, the show got sued. So now we got details of what the contracts are like because the girl who filed it included some of that information in her filing. So they make $1,000 per week for up to 8 weeks. Um, and this is for up to 60 hours, okay, per week. That's less than around $17 per hour. If they get married, they can't get divorced for 11 months or until
Okay.
the last show of their season airs, whichever is later.
Yeah, okay. I figured there was some stipulation like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And because divorce is public record, right? Because then
Yeah.
anybody can find out the show is blown up, right? So that's kind of
Yeah.
shady. If they divorce, the show will pay for up to $5,000 per couple for the divorce and mediation. That's not covering
Dang.
even
That's
one
a
hour.
consultation
That's not even covering 1 hour of a lawyer's time.
of a divorce lawyer. Yeah.
Like what? I mean, a little bit of exaggeration, but you get my point, right? Like that's not
Mm-mm.
enough.
It's
um,
not enough.
and so ultimately, as this guy pointed out, some of them will ultimately end up paying more for the divorce than they made from the show.
Yeah.
So all that being said, there's money on the line here, folks, and somebody got to be smart enough to protect it.
Hello? Hello. Because I'm not about to lose this little bit of chump change that y'all are paying me. And then, no, absolutely. I'm not about to go
Yeah.
broke because of a reality show.
Right.
Absolutely not. And then, like, didn't somebody, like, quit their job to be in there?
Probably. I mean,
Probably. I mean, people do. Yeah.
a lot of people, yeah, they do not necessarily because they want to, but they're forced to because of
Yeah.
the show. Like
Because the show. Yeah.
Marissa from last season, she was a lawyer and she I don't know that they fired her directly, but they made it very uncomfortable for her, I believe,
Mm.
allegedly,
Mm,
um, to continue there. And so she ended up leaving her job, right? Because, especially depending on what the nature of your job is, a lot of people might not be cool with you being on a show.
for sure. That's understandable. Absolutely.
You
Um,
know,
but damn.
so you might lose your job
Nine couples.
coming out of this. You might lose your job, and if you lose your job and you got a man who's gonna take half of it at the point
Hello?
you
Or
get a
you
divorce.
didn't get a man? Like, what the fuck? You just out here being a brokey now. Like, you ain't got no job. You ain't got no partner. Like, nobody's going to take care of you. Oh my God. Is it worth it?
Yeah, so it's so crazy. So I hate that. I hate that they're like the family. At least he did say that he didn't love, and he was, feeling a little question. But it's like I don't the correlation of somebody wanting a prenup and therefore they're not serious about the relationship is just I don't get it. But
Right.
I
Because they
There's
hate
just
that.
still some
automatically
people, like
think
you
like,
said, who are,
yeah, they just think, oh, that means you want a divorce.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
that's people who are
yeah, and that's
ignorant
not
on
what
the
that
subject.
means.
You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah, or
just
it's
don't
like
understand. Like, I'm protecting myself, but also protecting
Protecting
you.
you.
Because at
Right.
the end of the day, if my door is open, then so is yours. And so, even the little bit that you have, I could sit here and pay more for a lawyer, a better lawyer, who now is going to take you everything that you had because you thought you were going to take half my
Yeah.
shit, but now
So
what?
I liked how Virginia kind of tabled that too to kind of open him up. She's like, look, listen, you can build your what if you build your empire, we're married and we get divorced? She's like, technically I could take that. I could take half of
Mm-hmm.
that. Or, I'm half of your business owner,
right,
even though I didn't
Yeah.
contribute to it.
right.
So I
That's
think that was like the light bulb for him, like, oh dang. All right, I didn't think
yeah.
about
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
so true. That's so true. I think Virginia handled it perfectly, even when the because like the mom took it to the level where she said like, well, what if he gets sick or what if someone gets sick? And the implication to me was like, oh, because you want a prenup, I got to now ask you if you'll stick around if he gets sick, which is a fair question or just thing to wonder, but it's not a correlation between the
Is
two.
there's not, no.
Not at
That's
all.
not what a
Yeah.
prenup is.
I
No.
think though that especially like in media, social media, when most examples of prenups that we see in society have tanked. Like most I don't want to say most, but a lot of celebrity marriages, a lot of relationships. It's like people don't sign a prenup and then you see what happens. And it's like, or someone does ask someone to sign a prenup and then, oh, so you don't love me? You don't trust me? Like, it ain't got shit to do with that. It ain't got shit to do with that. But the way that you reacted, and now it gives me pause. Yes. Now it makes me think that I shouldn't trust you when it comes to building, this relationship up. Like, it definitely raises an eyebrow now if this is how you're reacting. Um,
Exactly. It's like everybody, if you're financially responsible, in my opinion, should want a prenup. Even a lot
Yeah.
of people say, like, I have no money, I have no assets. Even if the other person has more, like, I mean,
mhm.
unless you're just gonna sit around and do nothing, you may get an
Right.
ass. Even if you sit around and do nothing, you may play the lotto and win it. Like, bro, do you know
You
how
may
many?
have an inheritance
You
coming. You
never
don't know
know.
what's going on. You
Yeah, that
never
it
know.
doesn't have
Protect
to
your
be
shit.
something. Yeah, it doesn't have to be something money or assets that you acquire immediately. We're talking about
Mhm.
the rest
Exactly.
of your life.
Right.
Duration of your relationship. So it's like,
Yeah.
get it together. Protect your chicken.
Exactly. Exactly.
Especially, I mean, you have to consider that with the show. If you get married, you already know you're going to get interviews. You're going to have opportunities flooded at you as a
Money is
married couple.
coming.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Money is coming.
Absolutely.
If you want it or not, it's on its way.
yeah.
Right. That you gotta really mentally prepare yourself to go on a journey like this. And I don't think a lot of people really think that through. Even without the cameras around. People are just like, but I love him. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but is he gonna
Right.
sign your prenup or not?
Right. It's true. What did you see in the previews for upcoming episodes? She got the prenup drafted and she set it on the table. She said, here's the
Now, she shouldn't have
You know
done
what,
that. What
Virginia?
she should
High
have
five
done
to
is,
you.
well, she shouldn't have done it like that. She should have, like, you got to, one, he doesn't know, right, anything about it. So she should have kind of eased them into it. Like, hey, let's meet up with an attorney. They can explain to you how this works. And then you can hire your own attorney, draft yours. I'll get mine drafted. And then we can come mediate, not just slide on the table. Like, go ahead and sign that, boo.
I mean, if she had plans to like go over it with him, then that would have been one thing. But if she's just like, okay, here's
Yeah.
this, here's the pen, just
Yeah,
read it
like
over at your
read
leisure. But
it.
by the end of the business week, I need that back in my inbox.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, we got to see exactly the context, but the preview made it seem like let me just slide that right
Right.
over
But we
there.
kind of are on a time crunch too, because y'all are supposed to get married like in like a week and a half. So it's like,
That's so true. We don't have much time for you to warm up to this concept.
right.
So you don't get a warm up.
I'm sorry, baby. Like this is what you signed up for, though. So
Right. Put me in,
listen,
coach.
Yeah.
right?
That's so real. Oh my god, that's so real. Okay, so the last is there one more couple
Yeah.
or two?
Is Joey and Lauren, not Joey and Lauren. Yeah,
Joey
no,
and
not
Monica.
Joey and
That's
Lauren.
it. We talked about everyone.
It's
Okay,
Joey and Monica.
Joey
Yeah.
and Monica, yeah.
But we talked about
So
his sister, her sister. Oh, speaking of sisters, I'm so sorry. Is anyone else getting a really weird vibe about Dave's sister and her aversion to him being on this show and maybe like their relationship in general?
It's weird because he keeps trying to paint her in a different light. It's like, okay, she's motherly towards me, but then at the same time, well, once she gets to know you, Lauren, like you guys will be best friends. You'll go hang out, you'll do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, so does she what are you talking about right now? Is she a hard nut to crack or is she not? Like I don't know. Is she accepting of this show or is she not? What is it?
I have
I
no
don't
clue, but it bothers me a
yeah,
little bit.
it's like for me, it's just giving like infantile. Like
Yeah.
Dave is infantile and needs to rely on everybody else, especially his sister. And I get it. Like I totally value other people's opinion, and I think you need that. But it's giving like he cannot formulate things on his own. He's so reliant
Yeah.
on what his
Mm.
sister is saying that
Yeah.
just a little bit of a like burnt red burgundy flag.
Deep ox blood red flag.
He does seem very dependent. Like he's very dependent upon her, and
Hmm.
he's dependent upon his friends too. It's like
He
I'm
can't
going to need
function,
to
it
see some
seems, without
autonomy
somebody
here.
else.
You like stop depending on them so much.
Please,
Right.
you're a chronologically grown ass man.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's
Uh,
wrong with you, Dave?
right. So yeah, the sister theme is a good one. Um, Joey, honestly, another one. I like how he handled the conversation with dang, I keep forgetting her name.
This
Monica.
Monica's sister.
Monica's
Yeah.
family.
Or
Yeah,
family. Yeah.
because he said what exactly what you just said about Dave. That's
Mhm.
exactly what he told Monica.
Mhm.
I appreciate his honesty. Like he doesn't hold any punches, and it's like, and it's he's so goofy.
He is goofy.
Goofy Tarzan.
Yeah,
But
truthfully.
Monica's sister, she's just like, I don't trust him. He's too good with his words. He always says the right
He could
thing.
be an actor. Girl, you've been sitting with that man for 48 minutes. I'm gonna need you to chill.
Or how about you're just asking basic questions that anyone could, if meeting a family, know that you're going to ask them, and they thought this through and they know what they're going to respond with.
Yeah, it's just like, girl, come on.
Right
Like
Yeah,
you and your brawny paper towel ass boyfriend, I'm sure that your family put him through the ringer a little bit before when you brought him home for the first time.
right,
yeah.
rightfully so. Yeah, and so I don't get it. I don't understand. And I guess the other thing is like he's not reading that way on TV.
He's
Mm-mm,
not. And so thank you. So I
You know
was
what
like, are we
mm-mm.
not seeing something? Or like Netflix, are you not showing us like certain things about
I mean?
him? We must be missing something.
Right.
But have you ever known Netflix to shy away from the mess? You know?
Right.
Touche. Touche.
But that's what it makes you feel like. It's like, wait, where is the dots? Because
It makes
we're
me feel like if I was Monica, my sister ain't coming to my wedding. That's where I'm at right now. Like, girl, you need to chill out. You're being a little bit of like, yeah, I'm younger
Well,
than you, and yeah,
okay.
I'm getting married first. So what? Like, if you really wanted to be married that bad, you should have taken your ass on a show.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this in other seasons where like family members they're not 100% on board and they're like, no, 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 no. But this one, I don't know. She just seems very, very anti, like not even open to the idea. I'm like, I
Hmm.
get protect this sister, but it's a little overboard for being the first
Yeah,
time you met him.
it makes me wonder if it's actually Joey that she's having reservations about, or if it's like you know something about your sister, and you're just like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want you to marry anybody.
Well, because she was like, this, he's not even your type, and this and that, and she just kept dogging him basically.
Yeah, like you like tall Italian models. Like, girl, what? What? And she was like,
yeah.
doesn't everybody? I mean,
I mean, her husband is not tall Italian model, and you try to
Right.
hook him up with your sister,
yeah, yeah. Not at all.
make it make sense.
I mean, he might be Italian, but not the type of Italian.
But he ain't no tall model.
That is for effing sure. Unless he's modeling like
Them socks,
Duluth
them socks.
Trading Company flannel, beard oils or some like I don't know. Yeah, wool socks, but
Your little
mm-mm.
sock basket
Yeah.
with
Oh
your
my. Ugh.
scrubs.
I understand what he's saying about like other like people's feet have been in there, but I get it's just your family, but family be nasty sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I think of like, um, when you have if somebody's home and they have people take off their shoes, some people have socks
Mm.
prepared for you. And a sock bin. Some people have a sock bin. Okay.
Okay, I could see that, but she made it kind of seem like daily, every day. I'm like, okay,
And it
so
was all pick
the
out. Yeah,
socks that you work out in and stuff too.
yeah, that's
Right.
for
So it's like
sure.
depending on what kind of socks you need for the day.
Yeah,
How
that's
do
for
I
Yeah.
know
sure.
what's what?
But
And
Like
then
yeah,
I
I
was
could
like,
have used Jesus everyday
everybody
socks, but
can
these
fit
are
all
my
the
gym
socks.
socks. Yeah.
one
I need
size
like a
fits all.
divider.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't fit, my daddy's socks, so everyone's
Right,
wears the same shoe shop. Like, what's
right.
Right. Like what are we doing? Ugh.
But
I mean,
she
it's like you
Okay.
said, it's a cute, quirky thing, and he said he likes quirky things about families, which is such a goofy thing to say. But I get it. It's like, okay, it's not gross.
and
It's not
she
like y'all
seemed
are feeding each other like baby birds and shit.
she
It's just a
seemed open
toxin.
to the idea of it being weird. Like she seemed
Yeah.
Hmm.
at least to acknowledge that, okay, I
Yeah.
understand how that could be weird.
And speaking of weird, how do we feel about a fam jam?
That was cute. I mean, that's their
Are we
thing. That's their
participating in a fam
tradition.
jam?
Wait, what is that? I missed it.
So basically,
Yeah.
Monica's mom was like, initially, okay, the way she said it, it made it seem like they put on music and then they all just kind of like jam
He
out
did make it
to
seem
it.
like that. Yes.
But she pulled out like a laundry basket of like tambourines and triangles
Yeah.
and
Instruments.
like
Yeah.
castanets and shit and passed out instruments to the whole class. And then everybody, dad was hitting them bongos.
You know he always get those. That's his instrument. No one else can have it. Nobody
Dad
else.
was like all in the camera, like,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Don't even dare give it to somebody else.
I thought he was gonna start singing.
The boyfriend was playing the flute and shit.
That's all they need is a singer.
Right.
And then Lauren is like, or not Lauren, what Monica's just like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, girl,
Right. Because you know she be the main
not
one.
embarrassing.
You know what her personality. She probably the main one when they do them little family jams. She in
She got
there.
a little frog thing.
Right. Don't be bashful now, Monica.
Don't act brand new.
Okay.
You think this is embarrassing? Like, oh my god, no. The families are way worse than that. A fam jam is like the cutest shit I've ever seen.
I thought it was cute. It's a cute family tradition.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I had no issues.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
I think I'm gonna do it with my the next dude's family. Like, you know
I
what? I
like
brought
it.
this tambourine.
Oh, your family would go hard on that. I
Oh my
like it. Invite me
god.
over. Invite me over.
Yes.
Let me get the
Fam jam featuring Ashley Harris.
bongo thing.
Yeah, let us know what instrument you want. We'll set it aside for you.
Yeah, the one that the dad was on.
You want the bongos? Okay,
Those are
bet. I got
hard.
you. I'm gonna go back in time and I'm gonna go get a recorder from SJM.
Oh, even
Play
better.
hot cross buns for you, real quick.
Even better. Even better. That is so funny.
Melody bells up in this bitch.
That is hilarious. Okay, was there anything else of note that we missed from episode 7 through 9 or the previews?
I just want to say, where did it go? It's in my okay. Was anybody else uncomfortable as fuck when Dave was going around talking about, are y'all fucking yet? We're not fucking. Like, why are you
Oh
asking?
my gosh. Yes.
Thank you. That's so important. We gotta get into that.
Man,
That's so
it was
important.
giving creeper. I'm like, why?
I definitely
Why?
wanted to get into that at some point because, like,
So was he was the one, right? I can't even believe I'm asking this question because it has to be, but it's like he was the one who kept asking people sexual or what they were wearing, right, in the pods or something.
mhm.
Yeah.
It was some
That's him.
question that he was asking them that had a sexual connotation. So
Mhm.
it just makes it even more, I hate to use this word because like the love is blind word, even more ick.
Yeah.
That he carried this through and now is asking everyone if they had sex. And I'm just like, and even he wasn't reading the room because even they were put off. Like,
Yeah.
we had this conversation like organically before. But
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody ask every single person like
And
individually.
pull,
Like,
yeah, and pull him to the side.
yeah,
Right.
or a sex tour. Just,
Right. Like, hey Nelly, like, are y'all having sex yet? We're not having sex.
Right.
Where are you guys on that? Like, can you back up out of my vagina, sir, please? Like, and it's so inappropriate taking somebody else's fiance off to the
Yes.
side in the cut and being like, so hey Virginia, are y'all fucking yet?
right. And that's the thing. It's one thing to ask your boy, maybe, boy code, whatever y'all, the bro conversation. That's
Yeah.
But then to ask his woman too, like,
Yeah, because he didn't believe him. Because he did. He did. Remember, the guys were talking, and he did bring it up. And I don't think he believed everyone, which is why he went to the women.
That's so inappropriate. Don't be talking to my don't.
Even if they're lying to you, then that means that's what you are supposed to.
Yeah, stay out their business.
I feel like he was trying to use their responses. Like he was hoping somebody was going to say yes so that he could go back to Lauren and be like, well,
Exactly.
They
Everybody's
Right.
did it,
uh,
so
Yes, he was going to use that to his advantage to manipulate a situation. Yes, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
he's like,
and
well,
it could
I
have
seen her
been
naked.
it could have
Yeah.
been to sleep with her, or it could have been to get out of the whole thing. Like, well, I
Yeah.
just think something is wrong with us because everyone else is
Yeah,
sleeping.
everyone else doing it and we're not. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Dave
That,
is a slut. My
that
slut.
and that's what it comes across as. So it's just like, there's a way to do that in a more appropriate way, but he just
Mm-hmm.
didn't do it.
More
It's just
tactful way to ask somebody about their sex life on TV.
right. Which, by the way, we understand on a reality show, but we just gotta be honest. Like, again, if you've been friends with somebody, that's fine. I think you guys had a relationship, you can talk about sex, fine. But like, you still just met even these dudes, you just met them, and now you're up in their bedroom, bro. Like, chill.
Right. Fall back,
All the way,
Yeah.
please.
all the way, all the way,
Oh
all
my
the
god.
The
Go
way
read
he
a
just
book,
kept
sir.
getting about like his sleeping and his sleeping habits, and I was like, dude, why are you overthinking this?
yes,
I
and
just
and it again, I keep thinking it's something else that he's trying to make a thing. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
snore. I snore on my side. I'm trying to do. It's just like, what are you talking about? Like,
I'm
how
so
are you
insecure about
pulling?
the way I sleep. Like,
How are you pulling all these bad chicks when you come across as so just like not cool at all?
you know what? Next season of Love is Blind, I want them to put therapists in the pod. 'Cause
Yes,
cool, y'all can talk to each other, but honestly, y'all need to talk to a professional because there's so much shit that is just, it's so blatantly obvious that you need to work on it. And I'm not saying that y'all are bad people. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with you, but there is. But just work on it. Work on it.
and we're gonna try to get a therapist on here with us. I don't know if we can get one this season, but as soon as
I
we can,
think we might be able to. I will reach out to my own therapist.
good.
Shout out to Dr. Asia.
That would be so helpful because you're right. They need like an AI voice to beam into the pods.
Yeah, something that kind of keeps them level-headed, that keeps them focused and gives them like actual perspective on, hey, these are things that you're telling to a person through a wall, but are these things that you've worked on? Are these things that you're comfortable with? Are you healed from this? You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Alex and Madison, especially Alex. Like, you need some empathy lessons, my friend. You need to learn a thing or three about, what it means to care about a person outside of yourself. So I think that it could help just having somebody pipe in and be like, hey, we're gonna have to schedule a therapy pod, a therapod after this.
100 million%. I totally, totally agree.
yeah.
Um. Okay. Did we miss anything?
I think that's all that I had. I think we got everything. I said I feel like Virginia would definitely put a nigga in a nursing home. She's giving Tyler Perry villain vibes right now.
Oh.
But that was the last thing.
And that was a fair thing to ask. I'm actually like, that's a good thing. I keep that in my back pocket. And the way that was asked was better than the question about, what if we
That
get
for
sick
sure.
because you want a prenup. Um, and yeah, so you did not buy her response. I mean, I feel like there could have been some level of, um, you know, obviously you have to see how things play out or whatever, but
Yeah.
I would not ever go into something with wanting to, just leaving some room for doubt because,
Yeah.
I don't know, you never know. But yeah. Okay. So I think we hit it all. So thank you for joining us for part 2 of Love is Nearsighted, Love is Blind recap, and we will be back next week. What's happening next week?
Yes.
Is it the weddings?
Yeah, because
Is
everyone
it?
comes back from Honduras next week. We're back in the States next week, and I think that it's wedding planning time.
Aren't they back in the States already?
Yeah, they're already back in the
Oh, they
States.
are
But
already
yeah,
back,
they
huh? So it's wedding planning.
Wedding
next
planning.
week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Well, thanks for joining, and we will see you next week.
Hey, bye guys.
Bye.
Okay. Hold
I'm
on.
like, I was doing stuff until the red dot went away.